Anybody on, Jeremy?
Hang on just a moment.
Coach, how's it going?
Well, I guess we'll start off with kind of your highlights from last week.
Well, I was real encouraged last week to have a beautiful day. We backing out of going to Oklahoma, we were seeing the good weather, and boy, did it didn't disappoint. At least we had a great opportunity to not freeze to death like we did at Baylor. And you know, for the sprinters, that was the main thing. Our male sprinters specifically, you know, with Kareem and Courtney and Jacoby, they had an opportunity to run in good comfort and not be dangerous, and had some good marks, and real encouraged there. That was probably the highlight. Our pole vault crew was really good. You know, from top to bottom, men, both men's and women's side. So there was just several little things that we didn't have to travel. We got to stay home. We've got our senior day coming up this week, but I think last week was just a good opportunity for kids to get a positive out of the season and to start, you know, building some confidence.
Can you elaborate a little more on how Kareem ran?
Yeah, I mean, 2042, that's his personal best ever. His first 200 of the year. You know, he's been hobbled just a little bit. You know, it's not really an injury and bothered by some stuff. So we really brought him along really slow. And I can't tell you how encouraged I am with him. Even yesterday in practice, me watching him, I mean, he's ready to run, and he had a great 200. His speed is really good. He's going to run the 400 this week. And I think he's going to run fast. I think he's ready to really.
Can you go back? I know you talked about it maybe a year or so ago, but just kind of how he came to you, and when y'all saw him in the portal, I guess, how you established the contact and that sort of thing. If I remember correctly, didn't he also maybe know possibly O'Dane Lewis or somebody who was here?
That's actually exactly the only way we knew that he was even, you know, we had watched him run for Iowa, but we didn't have a clue that he was, you know, graduating there and all that. I think I could be wrong, but I believe it was Christmas. He just come to be with O'Dane, and then was here, and then was going to quit running, to my knowledge, and then just go back. And I think then he just realized, hey, you know, this is an opportunity. And he went back, talked to his coach, got in the portal, and then rest of it, he decided to come here. I'm glad he did.
Yeah. Shifting over to Shanae for a moment, getting 14 feet in the pole vault. What did she kind of work on during the indoor season? It seemed like during the indoor, she didn't really have clear any high bars, if I remember correctly. And she kind of break out last week.
Yeah, she struggled all year. I mean, it's very obvious, and she'll be the first to tell you. But you know, I think part of it's just this layoff. You know, I think some of our 5th year, 6th year type kids that haven't gotten to compete much, and for some kids that whole 9 months of layoff bothered them more than others. And I think she's just had a hard time. Her steps have been off all year, but Tom also changed it to 6 lefts instead of 7 or 8. We shortened her run this past week, and she just, you know, as you saw, vaulted great. And so I feel like that she's kind of got her run up better. And I think he had to shorten it, which we don't like doing, but she's been very successful with a short run. So it's just made it be more consistent. And so she feels a lot more confidence. So I'm real encouraged with her. It's a great time. But I don't know if you remember last year, she was the same way. She didn't do a whole lot early, and then she came along late. So she's a little bit that way.
I'll let Sean jump in.
Thank you, Don. Coach, senior day for these 12 women and 12 men. What do you take away from, a couple of highlights from each of the women and the men that you feel like you'd like to bring up?
Well, this is a special group for me because, they came back a lot. A lot of these kids were done with their degrees. And when the COVID hit, they decided to take that extra year. And so, and what a tough year it has been. I mean, people have no idea what these kids have gone through, and especially them, because some of them haven't run an outdoor since 18. They didn't even get, Kaylee Hinton was hurt in 19, and Sarah was a little bit the same way on the women's side. And then, but then those two are 6-year people. So it just means everything to me. I just love those kids because they've honored Texas Tech. They wanted to come back and do something that they got cheated out of, and just stayed with it, and just their perseverance. And then on the guys' side, Kareem and them, they could have left, and all the seniors. It just means everything to me that they want to be a Red Raider and want to come back for another year. And then what they've gone through has been incredible. And for them to withstand all this, just really proud of them.
Chance was talking a couple weeks ago about getting everyone in his group to wear cowboy hats. And
What's going? I've got some boots now, and I've got some jeans, but I hadn't got me a cowboy hat.
Talk about the injuries that your team has overcome. It looks like there's been some progress that has been made. Do you feel like you're right?
I've been really pleased, with our sprinters. And like I say, we had a good meet last week. It was kind of the first really test of running the 200 for Courtney and then the 100 for Jacoby. Courtney's been a little bit progressed. His injury happened earlier, so it's just really the timeline. But they both just have looked great. And then they came out of that meet, and we had really good practices Monday and Tuesday. And so, really respect that group, and that was the ones we're more worried about. We still have some others that are out, and hopefully they're going to get back in the next 2 weeks. But I am encouraged way more than I was, because one of our strengths is our sprint group, from sprint relay, 100, 200, 400, and so we need those guys. And so it's a right time. Looks like they're finally turning the corner, and it couldn't be at a better time.
If you could give one sentence on the commitment that the senior group has had, and one thought on what this group of 24 will have on the future of Texas Tech track, what would it be?
Well, one sentence might be, I'm just so proud of the perseverance that they have shown to be Red Raiders and to stick it out. And I think that's the thing that's going to stick with me with this group, because like I say, they could have gone on with their lives, and they chose to come on back one last time. So I'm just really proud.
Don, you got anything? Don, you got to unmute yourself again.
Back on Kareem for a minute. What are you planning to do with him this weekend? What event or events?
We're going to run the 400 and the 4x4. We're going to try to run a relay. We haven't run a relay in a while. Both relays are going to run, and we're changing the order on the 4x1, and we're going to try to run our best group that we've got. But we're using this meet a little bit like the conference meet, where they've got to run 2 races. And so some of them more, but we won't probably run anybody more than 2. And that's going to be important just to get the work in, because we have finals next week and then we head to K-State the week after. So as long as these guys are healthy, we felt like we needed to kind of get a good work weekend, but also to try to run some fast times.
What's your plan for Tacky this week?
Well, he actually got invited to this pro meet in Kansas City, and he's going to go run an 800 against about 5 guys that have run 145 or better. And we really were planning on running him at Baylor in the 15 and then the 8. This has been planned a long time, but it just worked out that way. And then he had to go to Drake to do the 1500, and then now we're going to do this one in the 800.
You mentioned changing up the relay. What order are you putting guys in? How are you putting that together?
Well, we're gonna try to go a little different. We're going opposite nearly. We're gonna lead off Courtney on the men's side, and then to Jacoby, and then to Ashton, and then to Keon. We're trying to not let the stick slow down, and we're gonna run hot up early, and they're all running well. And so I don't think it matters, but we're just trying this out a little bit to see if we can keep the stick moving a little bit better with this group early and put some heat on people, like get the lead on some people. And hopefully, that'll make them mess up on their handoffs or whatever by us running so hot up front.
And who else is going to be here this weekend?
Well, we've got South Plains and Western and New Mexico Junior College, 3 great, junior colleges that have really good stuff. And then of course, Wayland and ACU's coming. They're trying to break 30-40 flat, I think, at the sprint relay, and they've got some good people in various events, from the field events to there. Lubbock Christian, and that's about it. Eastern, there's a few stragglers, and then there's several unattached people, I think, in the throws, and we have Nika McPherson in the high jump, and there's just a few various things that are unattached people, because they don't get an opportunity to run hardly any meets this year with COVID. So they're going to add to the meet.
I think they'll cover me.
Thanks, Coach.
Sean, you good?
He got me with my one big question, so good.
I might get me one of them cowboy hats. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks, Coach. Kareem, if you want to flip your camera on, and we'll get ready to go with you.
All right.
So we'll start with Don. Questions for Kareem. He obviously PR in the 200 this past weekend. Questions for him, Don, whenever you're ready.
I'd asked Coach Kitley about it. Can you kind of tell the story about how you decided to come to Texas Tech, and I guess how well you possibly knew O'Dane Lewis?
I knew O'Dane from junior college, went to the same junior college at Iowa Central. And I came after graduating from the University of Iowa. I came here just to hang out, because I was done. I was done sports. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a job and whatnot. And they're like, hey, you have another year, so why not use it? I was kind of hesitant about it, but O'Dane kind of talked me into it, like, hey, opportunity come but once, so I took it. And plus, he was gonna compete, so I was like, we start together and together. So that's how I ended up here.
So you just came down here to visit. Coach said over Christmas break, if he remembered right. Is that correct?
Yeah. So,
as successful as you had been at Iowa, since you had been an All-American before, why did you think you wanted to give up track and field? Why did you think you wanted to give up sports at that time?
Things just weren't going the right way at Iowa. I think they were going in a different direction than I saw us going, and it wasn't working out. I was not in the right headspace there my last semester, so I decided to give it up.
What did you get your degree in at Iowa?
I got my BA in communication, minor in psychology.
So when you said you were going to give it up and get a job. Did you have anything lined up at that point, or what were you kind of planning? What kind of job were you planning to go get?
I had no job lined up. I was gonna go to Maryland and just like my friend had like a construction thing going on, so I was gonna just go do that, just to make some money. I had no idea. I was just lost. So I was like, you know what? Let's hang out. I didn't even tell O'Dane why I came out here, honestly.
So you knew someone in Maryland, you said had a construction job. So you'd have gotten a job like a physical blue collar job?
Yeah. Hard labor. Even Coach Keeley said that, like, come on, man, you can't just like give him your body. I was like, Coach, I didn't say coach. I was like, sir, I don't know, man. I don't feel like I want to do this, because I was like kind of down from like, sports and whatnot. I just wanted to be done.
So how would you say your life then has changed in the last couple of years since you've been here?
Here at Tech, or just like
Just here at Tech.
It's
what has this experience been like for you?
oh, it's a way better experience, especially the weather. It's warm majority of the time, except like in the Christmas time. But I like the atmosphere a lot. It's a very big campus. That's the only thing I kind of dislike, but I like the team. I like the coaches a lot more. Yeah, I really like it more.
And how do you feel about what you've kind of done on the track?
So far, every time I've ran here, I've gotten a PR. Even when I came in January, I didn't practice for like 6 weeks, and I came out with I think a 20.6 something PR. So I don't know what's going on here, but they know how to like put together, put people in shape, to run.
Running the 200 and the 400, do you like one of those better than the other, or feel like you are better at one distance compared to the other, or you like them both?
I like the 4 more, but I guess because I stepped down, I have better success in the 200. But I would like to run better 4s than 2s, but so far I've been running way better for 2s than 400. So yeah, I should be doubling at Big 12s, hopefully, or tripling, whatever they decide to do.
Yep. Do you have any? Is there any possibility that you could qualify for the Olympics? Is that something that's possibly in your mind? I know, obviously your country has great sprinters. Is there any chance that you could compete in a trials, or what's the possibility there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to qualify in the 200 to go to the Olympics. Right now, I'm #1 in the country, surprisingly. That's very surprising. But the qualifying mark is, I think, 20.2 fourth night or 20.25, and I'm at 20.4 first race out the gate. So I think we have a large window, of improvement. Hopefully I get the 4 also. I would like to run 44, but whichever one comes, I'll take it.
Yeah. Do you have any track and field kind of hero or idol that you look up to?
Not necessarily, no. I just kind of like certain athletes, like I think Nathan Allen. I like his running style. He's from Jamaica. I also like Fred Curley. I just like Fred Curley because of like he's very confident, and I like that. He thinks he's throwing 42. I'm like, hey man, you ran 9, so you probably could. So I like his confidence.
John, you want to jump in?
Kareem, what do you feel like you've improved the most since you've come to Tech, and how do you still say your 2:05 is the qualifying time? Do you still feel that you've got another half second, another 3/4 of a second? You still feel like you've got? I can see by the smile that you feel like no, I'm sandbagging. Wait till Big 12s. Wait till nationals.
Oh yeah, I think we have a lot of room to improve, because there's like a kind of like the small video out, but like the curve, oh my Lord, Courtney caught me from like 5-7 steps in. So if I can like improve on the curve for sure. And in terms of like improvement since I've been here at Tech, I think the weight room played a really big part in that, because I think when I came here originally, I was like 150 and now I'm at like 163, like solid. My cleans have gotten better, my squats, I've just gotten very stronger in the weight room. So I
Talk
think
about
that contributes a lot.
talk are all helping propel each other. You talk about Courtney catching you. Talk about how there is that competitiveness of if you don't run your best, someone's going to be catching you from behind.
Hey, okay. So I train with the quarter milers, that practice just alone is very harder than the sprints, in my opinion. But as a group, we come together and like, hey, we gotta hammer this out because we need to finish it. Sometimes, like in the fall, we have like 300s or 500s. What we'll do is we'll try to get each person in the group to take a rep just so we can feel it out, and who's in the back kind of like rests a little bit. So we try to share the load evenly, take it as it goes.
What's the one thing that you have loved the most? You talked about how Lubbock is warm all the time except for the Christmas season, and what are the things what's the best place for you, in Lubbock, and for right now?
Okay, right now, not sure, but I don't know. I just like, I don't want to say, it's kind of cliche, but coming here is kind of revitalized me. I love it a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I love the sport. I love the school a lot. I love the school. I don't know. I can't put my finger on like one specific thing.
How has the coaching staff helped you revitalize you and give you what you need to make you feel like, my sister's a coach, my brother's a coach, so I know the whole concept of push, 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 push.
Yeah.
But how has this coaching staff been different than any other coaching staff that has given you this revitalization?
Well, I think one thing is that we have two coaches, which is Coach Rob and Coach Lavish. So I don't like previously I'm used to having one coach where I'm just seeing that person every day, the same workouts. But with both of them, they come together and put their expertise together and create this master plan or masterpiece. So I like that it's from two different worlds. Like Coach Rob is very technical and Coach G is very, I don't know, he's endurance based. So Coach Rob can help you with like, sprint form, technique and whatnot. And Coach G can help you with like posture or endurance, stuff like that. So it's just the best of both worlds coming together. It's kind of like parenting. It's kind of like parenting.
You're getting co-parented, and talk about, you've got the Jamaican flag behind you. You talk about qualifying for that. What would it mean for you to not only be a Red Raider but to run for Jamaica?
Well, I want to get on. I don't know if you know the indoor track. They have like this wall in the left corner with all the Olympians. I would like to go there. I want to go on there and to make it to the Olympics. That's like the top of the top for athletics. And I've never been to a trial, in Jamaica. I've never been junior trials. None of that. I was not interested in that. Just coming out of high school, I was like 48.5. I think I ran like 22.5 or something like that. So I wasn't really good. And the history of Jamaicans, they're fast. So I didn't cut that standard. But I really want to be a Red Raider Olympic. Plus, I just want my picture up in the indoor so everybody can see it.
What would it mean? I mean, is that your ultimate goal? It's not your ultimate goal of an Olympic medal. It's just to get your name, get your picture.
I mean, you gotta take it one step at a time. You gotta take it one step at a time. I feel like that is a very good motivator, especially like seeing that and like you seeing like the history that they've had. Because I feel like there's like a certain standard here, and you can kind of like feel it in the atmosphere. Like the whole indoor track is just championship. You can tell.
And so talking about the indoor track, how has the facilities here helped you and changed you to make yourself better?
Well, everything is in close proximity. You know, the weight room is by the track, and then they also have the fueling station, which helps out a lot. And, you know, say you get hurt, God forbid, the training room is like right there. Every is right in the same vicinity. So I like that, you know, you're never out of reach. No one's ever out of reach, you know. You can get to anyone quickly, and then across the street, the coach is. So, you know, I like that.
Don, you got anything else? Oh, he's got one more. Let him unmute himself. That button, Don.
Just curious, have you ever seen, like, say, Usain Bolt or Johan Blake or any of those guys in person? Been at the same meet with any of those guys or anything?
Yeah. Yes, I have. I've volunteered at a few track meets, so I've seen them compete. I didn't get to see his last run, but I've seen him in person competing. He's very tall. They're huge. You know, yeah.
What city in where you saw them?
In Kingston, the capital, the national stadium. I don't think they'll compete anywhere else because we don't have probably like 4 tracks in the national stadium. Everyone wants to be there because it's like an actual stadium, you know. So.
Yep. So going back to when you came here first to visit, and we're visiting with O'Day and whatever, how long did it take for them to change your mind? From the point that, you know, you were made up your mind you were giving up track and field, to the point that, okay, well, you know, maybe I will come here and do this.
I wouldn't say the coaching staff changed my mind. It was really O'Day. You know, he was like, yo, just come on, you know what I'm saying? I got one more year, you know, might as well use it up with me. So I was like, all right. But it probably took a week for me to decide yes. When I went back to Iowa City, I was like, all right, I want to do this. So I contacted O'Day, and, you know, he told me to like get in the portal, and from there I was able to talk to the coaches.
Yeah. What does your family think? Did you talk to them, I assume, during that process?
No, I did not. I've ever since I've been here, I've made my decisions on my own because they don't really have much, I guess, knowledge of like college and like athletics. So it's just me on my own. Yeah.
Is O'Day still here, or is he back in Jamaica?
He's still here. He's in Lubbock.
Okay, so you still see him then quite a bit, I assume, right?
Yeah, every day.
Every day. Okay. Yep. Did you know him in Jamaica before y'all were teammates at Iowa Central?
I knew him as a competitor, not as a teammate. One of my teammates. Yeah, that's about it. Kind of rival schools.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, good.
I'm good.
I think we're good.
All right, Kareem, awesome job.
All right.
Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you. No problem. All right. Bye-bye.
See y'all.